It's the decider match of this group in the King of Battles. In the top right-hand side from this Shopify Rebellion, we've got ByuN in a rematch from his initial match in this group against Reynor. He went out with some aggressive tank liberator pushes, was not able to do the same against Cyril in the winner's match. Reynor was able to come through the elimination match against Classic to make it back here for this rematch. So, best of 3, TVZ. This is from the King of Battles 2, Group D, I believe. We're going to cast this and see where we end up over the next little while and see how this goes. If you're watching this on the YouTubes, I know, I feel like I say this so much lately. But you never know. Just because I said it in the last video doesn't mean that everyone watched the last video, etc, etc. So if you do enjoy the video, do consider hitting the like button. Do not forget. It helps more people to find out awesome content and obviously then helps us to keep on making more awesome content. And of course, if you're really enjoying, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Get those updates. Hit the bell. I don't tell you guys to hit the bell often, but hit the bell, get the notifications for when our videos go live. But they do go live once a day at pretty much the same time, give or take an hour or so when I have an upload issue or when I forget or when I don't get home in time. Something like that usually. Alrighty, so into this best of 3. Game number 1, we saw on Hardwire. I'm trying to think what the maps were the last time they played, because I didn't cast the first couple of games of this today. I do remember casting them. I remember they played 2K Atmospheres. I was just thinking, I never remember what the tournament's called. There we go. I was just trying to think whether they played Hardwire last time. They did. So they played Hardwire, Curious Minds, and then 2000 Atmospheres. And obviously in the rematch, they start on Hardwire again. It's very possible they just did the same vetoes. You know, when these matches are played on the same day, it's very possible that they just both vetoed the same things as before for good reason. Unless they really felt like something happened in one of the maps that they want to change. But obviously, I think so far you can just see that this is going to be Hardwire map 1. And this map, it's okay for Terran. You can push on it. You can get into a later game on it. It's okay for Zerg. You can kind of expand a lot on it too. It's really just a fine map. I don't think it necessarily favors one race heavily over the other race. So, yeah. That's kind of just what I'm thinking in terms of the initial setup here and how we get going. And, yeah, I mean, this is honestly one of the maps you kind of expect to be in the best of 3. Expecting Pride to be vetoed by ByuN, probably Glitter and Ashes or so. Reynor has his choice of vetoes. Maybe, I think actually Reynor likes playing Curious Minds, so maybe not Curious, but as I said, they played Curious the first time around. Last time he vetoed, I guess, Blackburn and Berlingrad. Which makes sense that the other kind of more Terran-focused maps, Blackburn, we talk about a lot already. Berlingrad, bit of a shorter rush distance. Definitely one a lot of the Terrans enjoy a lot of the time. Reaper is taking some damage from the Queen. It's going to be obviously pushed back a little bit initially as it looks for a way in. Looks to try and find some damage here right away. As you can see, Reaper coming around, gonna put down just a little grenade, a few legs back away. Just gonna be seeing how Hellions are continuing to build on up. So ByuN bringing a good amount of Hellions down through the middle of the map, out down to the south side. And that Zergling speed has just finished up from Reynor, so he's now gonna try and catch these Lings, but that's where the Hellions come in to help, and they will protect the Reaper. How dare you, silly little Lings, try and hurt my Reaper buddy, say the Hellions. And they work well as a team, of course. There's now a Banshee on the way from ByuN. This is double gas, so not a 3cc. An Overlord scout in from Reynor will tell him absolutely everything, though, including that the cloak is on the way on the starport. So unless this is a pretty major fake-out, Reynor has great information. At this point, even if you cancel, I mean, you can cancel it, but maybe Reynor still has to build those initial units. Uh-oh, hold that thought. This is a problem. These Hellions get into the natural. We're going to see one of them going down soon, but you still got 3 Hellions to one-shot some drones here. The splitting has been decent so far, but now they start to stack up a bit again. Feel like ByuN didn't get the best possible shot there. 8 drones go down at the cost of 3 Hellions in the Reaper. Could have been worse. I feel like ByuN had a couple of shots he maybe could have lined up a bit better, or better, kind of lines that he could have connected on. But I think this was okay overall, like I said. 8 drones killed. Still nice for ByuN, and it's very early as well because it's with the first 4 Hellions. The earlier you deal damage to a Zerg, the lower their work count is when they lose workers, the more impactful it's going to end up being, and that's definitely going to be true in this situation as well. So, yeah, obviously having this hit early and hit hard definitely helps, and that should just aid Reynor a little bit here for the early stages is going to be seen otherwise. A couple of engineering bays coming up at the back of the natural, couple of barracks on the way through as well. And just going to be seeing the factory finishing up on the reactor momentarily. Third rack, second and third racks continuing in. Drones taking some hits. Just going to be seeing still the Queen taking some damage. Ling's taking some shots as well. Just going to be seeing our Hellions of ByuN back out down to the south side. Crypt Team is taking a lot of damage here, actually. Just going to be having those picked off. Just going to see the Banshee still dealing some damage to the Spore Crawler there. It does finally go down. I mean, yeah, not exactly the greatest time with the first Banshee, right? And you look at what's being lost in the game. 2 more drones. Just the Banshee in general not doing great. This Banshee will do better as the Queen goes off creep for a moment. So at least Banshee number 2 is having some fun, but will never be as strong as it was meant to be. Those 2 Banshees together are the real dream. So missing out on the combo is just a little bit sad, unfortunately. Banshee still sitting between the bases, just going to see the couple Widow Mines coming through. The 1-1 upgrades coming up on the engineering base. And our Hellions will work around to the right-hand side. And it's just going to be poking forward. And, well, Queens are there pretty quickly just to say nuh-uh to the Hellions, so they get pushed back. And that Baneling nest still coming through from Reynor at the moment now. We have more Marines continuing down to the south side. We come through the center. A couple Widow Mines going to follow up on those Marines. At the moment is just going to continue forward and just going to be seeing a scan coming in. Just going to get rid of a good chunk of creep tumors right away. I still got to get on top of this hatchery. I mean, preparation, no banelings, right? So definitely a tough little situation. And losing the 4th base already would be painful. He's losing a lot of lings as they run forward to try and slow this down. Drones here as well. The Hellions are going to show up. If the Hellions can help against the Zerglings, that would be amazing. Not really needed, but still helps a little bit, right? Just speeds up the process. The Marine count is getting a little bit lower now. The Widow Mine connected on the Queens. This is a cleanup from Reynor, but it's an expensive cleanup. He has to spend a ton of units to do that. Only 300 resources lost, better off at the moment. I mean, I guess he killed a Banshee somewhat for free earlier as well. But ByuN definitely trading well there, and Reynor kind of does get to survive, but yeah, we'll see how the momentum continues. You can see that Reynor's actually got a lot of money in the bank that he's not spending yet, so that is a problem. He's only got a limited amount of lava currently available as we stem through. A couple of Widow Mines will burrow up, and Hatchery will take a bit more damage. The Banes continue forward. Widow Mine fires away. These Banelings will continue to take some shots. Now getting chased back. Get rid of the Overseer. Is just going to see the Queen just about surviving. The Marines load up and escaping away and get back up to the top. So, man, just about holding on here. Reynor with the close defense after close defense. Marines continuing forward, plenty more on the way in. Just going to see a couple more Crypt Tunes going down as this Widow Mine shot goes for a few Zerglings actually in the end. Kanelin's still trying to waddle in, and a couple of Widow Mines perhaps in some trouble. Marines will continue in. This Hatchery will take some hits. Bane coming forward again. We're going to re-engage with the Marines. You can see the Queen still trying to come through. A couple more Banelings still being shot down. That one connects. Quite a few Marines dropping there. Widow Mines going all over the place as the Lingbane continues through this. The Marines have loaded back into Medivacs. Seems like that will be it for the moment as the Banshee puts a bit more damage out. Banelin's still taking some shots. Everything else from ByuN will continue down the right-hand side now, and just going to start to maybe make some way or make some damage onto the rocks. Get a little bit of damage going here. Additional Widow Mines continuing through. Sorry, just the sub-message made me laugh. What's up, Vonschler? Appreciate it, mate. We actually have a long stream still ahead of us, so thank you for the resub. I'll mention it more after the game as a couple of Banes come through, and Marines will have to lift up. The Hydra's showing up on the left side, and Marines just pressing through the center of the map, getting rid of some of the creep spread at the moment. Widowmine's buttering up and, like I say, just pushing into the creep. Clearing out a good chunk of this. This next Widowmine goes down. Widowmine's shot just hits one Ling. And Widowmines are doing decently here as the banelings will go down, but enough Hydras to hold off the rest of ByuN's attack. It does feel like ByuN's had good momentum pretty much throughout the game so far, right? He's been able to keep up the pressure, he's been able to keep it moving. In that regard, he's been pretty good. Now he loses a medevac there, but keeps it going, so it doesn't run into too much trouble in the end. The Marines just continuing through the center of the map, so a lot of bio still coming across. Just going to be seeing the couple of queens being pushed away at, and that's going to be one of them already going down. Big push from ByuN. 2-2 against 1-1 right now as well. Can Reynor buy time to get the 2-2 upgrades finished? A lot of these Widowmines do not fire for a while, which means they didn't friendly fire at all, and it wasn't really needed to fire on those Lings, which were just melting to Marine fire anyway. Finally, some banelings showing up. And try and rotate around elsewhere, perhaps, as we see the extra Lings, the Hydras, the Banes, all of this coming through. Marines on the left side chasing Overlord away just a little bit. More Widowmine shots. Oh, this time the friendly fire on the Marines is big. I don't think we lost. I think actually we did lose quite a few, but the rest are very low HP, as you can see, as they drop out the medevacs. Mine's hurting ByuN in the end there, so Reynor finally getting a little bit of luck with that. He's being held back, though. It's been Lingbane Hydra all this time, and the Infestation Pit is now only just starting, so you know, the Hive is much later than you would usually like to have it as well. Widowmine gets taken down. Other Widowmines lining up. Connection on a Ling and a Bane. Just going to be seeing our Overseer still chased away here over that right-hand side. Will go down, actually, so you don't see these Widowmines as easily now. Makes it a little bit tougher to commit to the engagement. One Hydra from the other side just gets shot at. And the Widowmines helping ByuN to defend this position in the center. Two medevacs on the left, trying to find a way to make something happen. Will not be able to just yet. We still continue forward with more of these Marines. Another Baneling about to show up, and kaboom for additional Marine kills right there. Kiting backwards now, trying to again draw this back into Widowmine fire. Marines will pull it away, just jump back into the medevac. And again, more of this army from ByuN setting up down the right side. We're going to scan ahead. We do have a push onto the creep. And obviously some Lingbane Hydra that will stand here waiting to defend. But still a while away from the Lurk, as the Lurker Den just starting, so it's nice to see that ByuN's got a Ghost Academy on the way, because it means it's going to be well timed to start dealing with Lurkers. So yeah, I think ByuN's transition is well set. The Lurkers haven't come through too soon for him or anything, and it means for now this push continues to be decent. Obviously Reynor on the 5 bases, ByuN on the 4 base, but we'll be looking for the 5th base soon. Probably takes this forward command center and takes that position somewhere you can push forward from, kind of fall back to if needed as well. Once again, just kind of trying to draw units into Widowmine fire over here, trying to make the most of this. And I mean, he's getting ever so close to actually getting rid of that base as well. That Widowmine reaches and gets some good damage also. This hatchery surely dies right now. It does. And with the Broodlings coming through, we will actually send some Banes forward again, but now Reynor will back it up. He doesn't want to keep fighting here. There's no reason to keep fighting here if this base is already gone, apart from maybe to protect creep spread, I suppose. So you actually are going to end up getting pushed further back, I guess. I mean, I didn't disagree initially with it, but now that I see he's going to lose so much of this creep and he loses so much of the forward position, that's got to be an issue as well, as Widowmines continue to go off. Lings continue to stream on through. The bio army will kite backwards, getting very low on HP. He's been fighting for basically forever, or what feels like it. Nice split on those couple Banelings to minimize the damage. Pulling back and letting the medevacs have some time to put in some healing is definitely not a bad idea. A 40 supply lead in the game for ByuN, as Reynor will get to Lurkers. We'll see if they can make a difference in a game which ByuN has, for the most part here, been dominating. Reynor really never had anything across the map either, right? It's just been ByuN always piling on the pressure, always keeping Reynor pinned back for the most part. Definitely something of a factor in this, as we do see the few units sent back to the right side, looking to get this hatchery again. The rest out to the left now. Oh, we see the Lurkers burrowing up. We're going to stem forward for a moment. Obviously, Lurkers are difficult to attack into, and yet we still are here. ByuN is going to try and go in for this. There's not a lot of protection for the Lurkers, but now the bio army's a little bit too stacked up for my liking. You did get a few drones that pulled in as protection. And there's still enough bio saved for now, and I think the best thing to do is just to set a range and try and hit the hatchery down. There's one more shot from dying. Oh my god, he didn't get enough units forward to kill it. And this hatchery survives on 8 HP. Massive counterattack, by the way, as Reynor finally finds something across the map, and it starts with 17 SCVs. and he keeps Ling Bane alive to get more done afterward. We'll lose the left side base, acting as a 5th base. Like I say, it's something of a miracle that this base survived. It was one hit from a Marauder away. ByuN just didn't quite get enough units forward to actually hit it just that. And just one more unit in range, it would have been dead. And then maybe Reynor is already dead in this game. I don't think he's in a great position, don't get me wrong, but obviously just could be even better for ByuN. Like I said, I don't know if it's ever going to make much of a difference. ByuN is just storming across the map again. He's got a couple of Widow Mines here that unburrow will run away from the Lurkers a little bit. He's now going to scan and find these Lurkers on the right side. And just push the few other Lurkers back. 5 new ones are building. They're on their way to Seismic Spines. He didn't actually get a single Lurker upgrade yet. He's been under so much pressure. Reynor's probably struggled to afford it. As ByuN continues to make his way into the bottom left-hand side. A few more units coming across. There are a group of Lings that are running up the right-hand side as well. He's going to run straight in. SCVs will be in some trouble. Widow Mine shot. Does not go off this Widow Mine. Just on a couple of Lings then. Nothing too crazy. A lot of these Lings taking a fair amount of damage as we get so many units from ByuN still heading down to the bottom left-hand corner. And again, it's just been endless all game long. And Reynor has just not found anything to really stop it or slow it down at any stage, unfortunately. I'll line up another couple of snipes. We do see the Bioforce continue to come through again. A couple more snipes. That's going to be the end of a couple more Lurkers once more. I'm just going to be seeing the army still of ByuN pressing into good positions, getting into good places. Again, I like a lot of what's being done here from... I like a lot of what's being done here by ByuN. Just has been very good play throughout as we see these Lurkers coming through. They're going to get some good damage. That's going to be some dead ghosts. So they will start to go down. A couple of Hydras being picked off. The Queen goes down. More Lurkers burrow, unburrow, reposition in general. Now we're going to try and get the bottom right side hatchery. This, once again, Reynor will not be allowed to really have what he needs in this game. Just another base to mine from. You can see his minerals are just so low, and obviously that's A, not being able to mine from anywhere properly, and B, obviously just having to keep rebuilding these bases. This hatchery survives again, a couple clutch transfusions. The Lurkers get burrowed, maybe. Reynor once again survives a few extra seconds as he is doing anything and everything he can to not let this game slip away from him. I mean, I say slip away, it kind of did slip away from him. He's doing anything he can to, I guess, catch up to it again. What happens when something slipped away from you? I guess you, like I say, I guess you get it back, but he's trying his best. But ByuN is keeping the game too slippery for him to get hold of. I know, terrible anecdote, terrible metaphor, whatever you want to call that. But, well, yeah, I mean, the game's about to end, so I guess we can just get over it. Few SCVs going down, Bio Army all over the place, killing off Hatchers, a few Hydras on the left-hand side in some trouble. This should just be too much done as the Ghosts try and fire. Will not get enough, though, and that's going to be ByuN taking the first map here against Reynor in what is the rematch. Decided match of this group. Winners in the playoffs, the loser eliminated. Top left-hand side, our red Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion. It's going to be ByuN as he takes the 1-0 lead, and he actually looked pretty freaking good in that game, right? Took control, kept control, made the most of it. Mario Capri-Sun. Did I say your name horrendously wrong? I've just, as I write it out, I feel like I did not say Mario Capri-Sun. I feel like I said Mario Cat Prison. Which is, oh, I mean, it definitely says Marioka Prison. I just did not read it as Mario Capri-Sun initially, so... as I just wrote it out there, I was like, oh! I see what happened. Oh, that's funny. Alright, ByuN is in the top left-hand side, as in the bottom right. We have Reynor. I assume this was Reynor's map pick map 1, so this should be ByuN's map pick Curious Minds. That's typically how these best of 3 TVZs turn out. As we have our hatchery in the bottom right and our natural coming up, hatch gas and pool coming in. Just going to be seeing our overlord heading across the upper side to see what will happen. Nothing too crazy here in the early few moments, and SCV is wandering down to the bottom right hand side of the map, so away we go. And that up and ready to rumble. So SCV is on a bit of a journey to start things out. Do I have matching underwear for the Christmas stuff? No, I actually have no Christmas underwear. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm still wearing my underwear. I still wear MeUndies from being sponsored by MeUndies like 4 years ago. They're the most comfortable underwear. To be fair, I actually bought some new ones this year because I like them so much that they're just super comfortable. So they sent me some, sponsored me like 4 years ago. And they probably made their monies back on me, me buying some new ones this year. So who knew that their sponsorship would last so long? I bet they didn't. If only I still have my old affiliate link. 4 years later, I don't even think I had an affiliate link. I don't even remember how long I was sponsored by MeUndies for. It's not a sponsorship I remember, which makes me feel like I just put the logo on the stream for like a couple of days and that was all. Yeah. I look like a Christmas tree myself. Do I though? I feel like I don't really look like a Christmas tree myself. I feel like that might not be actually accurate. You know? Super Grenade goes down. Creep is trying to be denied a little bit here by ByuN as we set up initially. Link speed is going to be finishing soon. As we get this up and running. Couple of Hellions going to come through. Cloak Banshees are going to start up as well. We do have our Queens going to come to the front and just turn that first Hellion away. I would say pretty similar to the last game, right? ByuN also opened with the double gas, went into Cloak Banshees. That first Banshee didn't do much. Second Banshee was decent and stayed alive a long time as well. And there's the Reaper and the Hellions. Back around the right at the moment, continuing to see what they can set up for. And it's going to be seeing our units coming back through. That will start from Reynor. That's going to be seeing our couple of Queens continuing through as well. Just going to see how Hellions keep on moving around. And like I say, first Banshee obviously looking for its chance. Come across the map and maybe make something happen. He's going to hit the Reaper to get rid of that creep tumor, so that's a nice catch as well. Always nice to deny your creep tumor, even if it involves taking your Reaper on low HP. As otherwise, we've got ourselves the Banshee moving around down the bottom side, heading toward the main base in the next few moments. Banshee cloaks up and just going to go for a couple of drones. Only hits one once, now hits another one, so that's one drone kill. And the Banshee now escapes away to the side. There's a few Hellions. Just continue to gather on the watchtower. Stimpak coming through, a couple of extra barracks on the way. Engineering base finishing in the natural. And we do see one Hellion already picked off by the few Queens coming over. It's a little pick off, of course, anytime you're getting rid of Hellions, you remove a bit of the map control from ByuN. And you just take away some of his potential run-by defense. Definitely always nice. We'll retake the watchtower as the 1-1 continues through. Stimpak's coming in. A few Marines. Continue to just get this Overlord. So that's a nice kill. Obviously, Reynor wanted to scout, so just to see, okay, Stim's on the way up, for example, right, has a rough timing on things. Scan and just use these Banshees to clean out creep. Small map, so denying creep is nice. Don't let it get overwhelming because it really can make its way across the map extremely quickly when the map is short like this one, so definitely a factor. As the Banshees come back down around the right, getting set up to go. One Banshee ended up going down then. Otherwise, just going to see a few Hellions hanging around. There's a lot more Lings on the way through. Tank down at the bottom left side. It's going to get a push going then. So using those tanks on the watchtower chokes up that position. Ling's counterattacking, mind you, and zero defense on the counterattack. So that's the problem of having lost the Hellions, right? This is the kind of thing you want to be able to stop. Is okay, ByuN's like, well, if I can get the 4th base out of this, at least maybe this is somewhat decent, but probably, I don't know if he's going to really get it. There's a new base on the right side anyway. 9 SCVs went down. There are the Hellions. The Hellions were around. They just weren't back at home to protect. So obviously that's a real shame. Actually sucks a lot as we do see the Lings continuing to the upper left side of this and just making their way in, but getting turned away by a Banshee perhaps. Marine showing up, enough of them this time. This won't go too much further for the moment. Marine still stemming through, getting a creep tumor or so. Now going to grab the Overlord and making their way back and picking up a couple more creep tumors as well. So doing okay with that as we come back around. Marines just about loading back up into the medevacs. Those medevacs are low though, and there's not really a way for you to protect these siege tanks. They're going to go down. We'll get some units as they go at least, so that's something, but yeah, Reynor is able to dislodge the position, and the positioning there pretty important too, for sure. What is the follow-up here from ByuN? Currently still just 5 racks, so we're kind of waiting on the decision of, okay, second factory. So that's why I was wondering, second factory, 4th base, or are we thinking about adding on more racks and really just committing to like a never-ending push? We are going to take a second factory, so we are going to tech up a little bit with extra siege tanks and just factory units on the way. But those will be starting to come out here shortly. Because otherwise, a few Marines is going to take the watchtower, and this Ling Bane force is going to come through, and kaboom! A bunch of Marines getting taken down. The right side, Banshee showing up, and a few drones are already being picked away at. We get rid of 4, we get rid of 5, so 5 workers picked away at already. Again, orbital command still coming up on the main base. Just going to be seeing the Queens pressing forward. A little bit of creep spread continuing to come out the front. Ling Bane will join up on the watchtower over on the far left-hand side as we just see our Marines and tanks continuing forward as well. So setting up with all of this, I'm just going to be seeing a few extra Marines on the left-hand side as well. Join up with that medevac. We will see a command center coming through now. Just retaking the watchtower with the Marine as all the Lings run on through. The Bane's going to back it up as well. Just going to be seeing Burrow on the way out from Reynor. No idea what happened here, but ByuN typing out his team and his name. Like, hey ByuN, we just need to do an actual identification check. Can you type in your team and your ID? Oh, yep, okay, you are the correct ByuN, thank you very much, and you may continue to play your game against Reynor. I feel like we already knew he was the correct ByuN, though. Okay, not sure what happened there during that pause, as we do see Marines just kiting backwards. But, yeah, 2-2 upgrades on the way. A little bit faster from ByuN, so he will have an aggressive opportunity here with an upgrade lead shortly against purely Ling Bane. Now, purely Ling Bane does mean there's a ton of units to deal with, but it does mean it's... I mean, pure Ling Bane can die off pretty quickly, man. 5 Vipers start instantly on the hive. That was not expected. I was thinking more like adrenal glands, yep, and Builder Cav and 2 ship, but 5 Vipers? Like 2 or 3, I'm not surprised about, but 5 is a lot to go into immediately. That is a bit surprising. Well, ByuN is continuing to stay somewhat split, trying to use this triple medevac attack on the right side to pave way for the attack on the left. Finds a couple of Banelings without issue here, and stims in for a couple of Queens. ByuN going to find Reynor not paying attention, but then he didn't lift up soon enough himself, and he took a Baneling in the face. Meaning a lot of his Marines just took damage they didn't really need to take, and that depowers the attack on the right until he gets healed up again. There are some burrowed Banelings here and there. That's what Reynor was sending 2 Banelings forward for beforehand. He actually does just explode those on what was a very unspectacular amount of Marines. I thought he would wait for a bit longer, but maybe just thought now on something is better than never at all. So I'd rather take the guaranteed damage than the perhaps further down the line damage. As we split here and we look as though we're just going to fight again. Stim comes through. Not a lot of splash damage aiding ByuN here. He falls back to the couple of siege tanks, but They were a ways off, and it takes them a while to get all the way back there, in all honesty. Marines are going to show up, picking away at a couple of the creep teamers. Oh no. No! The Burrowed ByuN on the left-hand side get a massive connection. Huge hit over on the left. There's obviously a big deal as we see some ByuN's going to take the watchtower as well. Just thinking about continuing to push on through. Lings and Banes continue down to the south side here. Far right, our Marines will stem forward. This time we catch the Banelings, so obviously you're going to have to be very careful with where you move now. You're pretty much always going to have to be thinking about scanning ahead of time. Ultras on the map, and that might slow down a little bit of ByuN's aggression. I would love to see him get some ghosts up now that Ultras are here, because it does feel as though the time to just kind of spam by units and try and make something happen is definitely kind of passing on by. Medevac's falling back, Widowmine firing away, some Lings taking damage, and just going to be seeing units escaping away to the bottom side as well. A few of these Banes continue through at the moment. Just going to be seeing the rest of this continue forward, and our Vipers will come through also as our Widowmines will burrow up. A couple Widowmine shots going off. Parasitic bomb on the Medevac, and just still seeing the Bio Army stemming through here. Oh, all of those Banelings just blew up, mind you, so that's actually going to be ByuN suddenly turning this around. I don't know if that was tank fire. I mean, it must have been, right? Tank fire, maybe a Widowmine. Something just blew up a chunk of Banelings, and that allows ByuN to then turn this around and to keep this pushing now across the other side of the map, so away we go. On the right side, we've got some of these Marines kiting backwards, and Ultralisk chasing. Medevac's lift up, and the Ultras will clean up over there. We continue over here. Is it enough? I'm still worried that ByuN is not teching up a little bit more in this game. Another Parasitic bomb. I mean, obviously at this point, just having Ghost would be nice to EMP these freaking Vipers, which are just flying around as a cluster. And this drop play over here really was shut down, and feels like maybe Reynor was getting a bit of a better handle on the situation right now than it was before. Before, it was definitely feeling like it was getting a bit out of control. Getting constant action top right and bottom left. There's still these two Burrowed ByuNs. I'm trying to keep an eye on those and catch just in case ByuN does ever run back to his fourth base. And that's a real possibility. If Reynor fights here, there's a real chance that ByuN kites back into his fourth to use the planetary defensively. So that's actually a really cool position to have a couple of Burrowed ByuNs be set up, because they've been there a long time as well, so ByuN definitely isn't expecting them. Because at this point, he probably feels like this area is safe with Burrowed ByuNs. He's been here for such a long time. But yeah, that's a position he's just not really been in. So we'll see if it's an effective. We've got a run by top side as well. Let's check in on that as this fight disengages for the moment. Again, just a lot of Lings all over the place. Try and jump on a tank. Will not get that kill, surely. Enough units in the main, just about saving it. So let's see if he cannot go down either. As we do see a couple of ghosts sniping over here. Ultras being shot at. ByuN kiting backwards, now re-engaging in once more. Alright, well, just soon as we see another Parasitic bomb get shot down. Banelings will continue to morph in. And this army of Reynor settles down over on the left-hand side. Bioforce, Ghosts, Widowmines pressing forward at the moment. Just going to come through. There's going to be a few of these Banelings already dropping down, so picking off a bunch of those. There goes the Ultralisks, and there's a snipe on an Ultralisk as well. A couple of these Queens are going to get picked off right away. And another Ling counterattack going to go straight into this mineral line. 10 SCVs, 11 SCVs going down. More snipes, and these Ultras still being picked away at. Banelings will continue to chase forward. Nice pull forward from a Marauder. And now these Vipers are going too far through. Reynor losing a fair amount. If ByuN had just not been losing 15 SCVs more behind this, maybe this would have been continued to be a bit more playable. Right now, this Orbital is actually burning down, and there's nothing here at the moment to repair it. SCVs are on their way over. It's going to just about be saved as long as he actually repairs it, right? One SCV is all it takes, and the repair is underway. Well, remember that ByuN during this is taking the bottom left base, so that's something to keep in mind too, that Reynor's not had anything over there to really stop that. Has he even spotted that? No, he does not spot it at all. Marines over here unload, and there's going to be a hatchery which will take some shots. I feel like by unloading on top of the hatchery, you kind of hurt yourself. Unloading here and stimming in probably would have netted you a bunch of drone kills, or maybe even a better chance on the hatch, because obviously then less time for Reynor to react. Here we go, big fight breaking out. We somehow get a snipe off on the first few goes against the Ultra. Massive Widowmine shot on the Banelings. Two ghosts do go down in the end, though, as ByuN pulls back. We still got the Burrowed Banelings over here, and this might be the time, actually. Uh-oh. It actually might be the time. The planetary force starts to go down. If Reynor's paying attention, oh, he scans to see what's what. And he actually catches those burrowed banelings. Nice catch from ByuN. 13 SCVs do go down. He catches more of the burrowed banelings, really on top of the tricks that Reynor is trying to play in this. It's going to be seeing more of this army then connecting back together on the south. A few extra banelings morphing in. And ready to go as our bio army comes through. A couple of these queens being shot away at as well. A couple of those fallen. We're going to line up snipes again on Ultraliz. Getting off what we can, but the Ghost is too far in the front, so the Ultras cancel some snipes as well. Continue backwards and forwards just a little bit. More banelings morphing in. And looks like we're going to have this Lingbane Ultra Force thinking about a run in towards this bio army. Widowmine on Burrows pulls back slightly as well. Still going to have these units from Reynor just hanging around toward the center of the map as you do see another tank shot. A few more Lings taking hits, and just going to be seeing the Overlord speed finishing up on the Hive soon. Widowmine still building, rallying out on the map. A couple of drones going down as Widowmine drop over here. Honestly, 3 Widowmines probably should have had more than 2 drones, so that's honestly not so bad. We snipe an initial Ultra as well. Once more, just getting some initial damage out from the Ghost. Doesn't have enough snipes lined up to get the second Ultras there that was attacked. And ByuN's still playing this bottom left-hand corner. Reynor with a little bit of money in the bank. Oh, he's going to come in from everywhere right now. The Banelings are starting to chase through as well. The Medivacs have to lift up. No Vipers around, otherwise a Parasitic Bomb might lay waste to a lot of these low HP Medivacs. Obviously fortunate to not be able to do much there as you see these SCVs are going to get picked away at. The Ultras help the ramp. 16, 17 workers going down. Widowmines all over the place. 17 workers full, and now this bio army continues to chase forward. A few more Banelings will be dropping. Another 17 SCV losses. That's losses which I don't think you survive as ByuN anymore. He's down at 33 workers, which just isn't very many. And that's, unfortunately, probably going to mean that he's out of luck here. Now, he does have a good, strong standing army, but he's got to do so much with it. And even if Reynor loses a base, maybe even 2, he probably has a rebuild to then win the game off the back of it anyway. So let's see. He sort of fight in right away there. I mean, lose 1 Ultra, gain immediately as Reynor. ByuN is going to be losing a fair few units in this as well. Reynor just does not want to fight without the creep. Little Ling run by. 1 Ling going to try and set up the Widow Mines. The rest will follow up. As he will go for the mineral line here. Now, those Widow Mines trying to relocate, but, well, the other Lings run through. Siege Tank on the high ground. Meanwhile, this army here setting up to go again. Just trying to be as annoying as possible. Reynor giving ByuN anything to fight about on the other side. Widowmine shot connects here, but that's the only splash damage right now. As ByuN once again has to kite out through this. Oh, the Widowmine, the Baneling, sorry, massive Baneling connection is going to instigate the re-engage from Reynor. Through we go with this Lingbane Ultra Force chasing. There's so many low HP units on ByuN's side. Medivacs, Marauders, and all sorts. There's so many Banes just burrowed up there, and ByuN lost track of it, so wasn't able to realize that running around in that position probably wasn't the place to be. Couple SCVs still coming through. Still just seeing, I mean, Reynor just maxed out, and ByuN's army is not as strong as it was a couple minutes ago when I first mentioned that this army is pretty much as last with the lack of economy. He will unload top right-hand side. I mean, he gets the bottom left base going again as an orbital. Is there some hope? Resources lost very favorable to ByuN. That's why this game's gone on like this. He's going to get the top right side. I guess the Ultra and the Queen here. It's a good amount of units there that are able to create that drop and denies some mining from Reynor. Reynor who doesn't have like a ton of minerals in the bank or anything. So it's not like Reynor is rich and rich and rich, right? It's not like he can just spend money for days. He's going to take this engagement here, though. Probably believes in his army right now. Parasitic Bomb's going to get rid of more. Oh my god, they're on every Medivac. Okay, well, every Medivac going down. Now you can't lift up these units, and that means they actually will just die as the Banelings crash on through, and that is going to pretty much put an end to this, right? I mean, 18, 20 SCVs. I don't even know why SCVs are still dying. Were they still dying over here? I guess so. Yeah, I mean, getting rid of the Medivacs is massive. It's one of the things that ByuN did not want to rebuild or can't afford to rebuild. Banelings connection again. GG is called, and Reynor ties up this series in stellar fashion. 1-1 here between Reynor and ByuN. Last map here then of this best of 3. As in the bottom left-hand side from the Shopify Rebellion, our red Terran will be ByuN. And the top right-hand side, our blue Zerg player is Reynor. Map 3 of the series as we get this ready to roll. What do we think, guys? What do we think for this third and final map? Does ByuN take it? Reynor gets it? Reynor played well that last game, but I do like the amount of pressure ByuN's be able to put on. I think this map might help Reynor a little bit. I don't know. It's just been a good series, so let's just hope for more cool action, more cool games. We can go from there. As we slowly follow our overlord out across the map, off on a journey. It doesn't give a crap. Okay, I don't know what else we can rhyme with that. Oh, time for a Wardy rap. Bap, 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 bap. Obviously, guys, ESL Open Cup Europe number 100 in about 45 minutes, so I'll have a little bit of downtime between this and that, unless this is a 45-minute game. There's already 111 players signed up. Okay, you know what? Should I sign up as well, guys? I complain about casting the first round. What if I sign up? Should I sign up? Would that be a thing? Should I get bopped in the first round by a pro, or just a non-pro probably, and then just get and then we can cast round 2? Should we do that? For some reason, I'm kind of feeling like we should do that. I have no idea why. I feel like that's probably a terrible idea. I'm intrigued. Link speed coming up. Starport's on the way. I'm just going to be seeing our factory built in a Hellion. Couple more Marines coming up. Starport coming through on the main base. A single Zergling of Reynor around the upper left-hand side. What's up, Whoosh? Thank you so much for the 1,000 bits. Getting you in the Xmas mood? Hell yeah. That's what it's all about. We love a bit of December on this stream, right, guys? I know. Sometimes it's not for everybody. I appreciate that. Honestly, I was never really a Christmassy person. I won't lie, in the past years, the Christmas tree was very much a sellout tree. This year, I really do feel... My girlfriend's very into Christmas, and I live with her, and she's definitely gotten me very much so into the Christmas spirit. So I'm fully committed to Christmas. I mean, to be fair, I actually did enjoy having, like, a bit of Christmas fun with the tree in the past. It wasn't just a sellout tree, before someone calls me out properly. But, no, this year, I don't know, I'm really feeling it, so... Christmas time. StarCraft 2 is fine. I don't know any other words or songs I can say. You know, once, actually, we did a WardiTV Christmas Invitational, and one of the donation goals, if we hit like $750, was that I would introduce players with Christmas songs adapted to their names, you know? Which I'm sure it makes a lot of sense why people did not donate for it. Looking back, I understand that now, but at the time, I was shocked people didn't want to just make me embarrass myself. You know, you guys really missed your opportunity. You know, that those times are gone. I'm not that crazy anymore. That was back in like I want to say 2016, maybe 2017 though. Few Marines loading up. Drop it down. And a few Hellions out to the left-hand side. Going to take a Watchtower just for a few moments. And trying to move forward, a couple of Queens will be fighting a little bit as well. So a bit of back and forth here so far. Armory is coming up. And that means that ByuN is going to get a little bit aggressive with these Hellions in the form of Hellbats eventually. And they'll have the Banshees on the follow. But a lot of kind of aggressive possibilities here from ByuN, from the Marine drop to now the Hellbats, the Banshees. He needs to get something out of all of this, right? Because if he doesn't get anything, I do get worried about how much he's committing into it all and not getting anything out of it. He only just now starts the third CC, so that's definitely later than usual. Sometimes our third CC comes down to help finish the wall off on the natural, right? And that's obviously just not the case here at all. There we go. Queen already taking some damage. Smoker going to move into position. I'm just going to back it up for the moment as the couple of engineering bays are going to come online. A couple of racks are coming through as well. So that's where we stand as of right now. Just going to rotate back around into the center of the map. And just try and look for another possible opening here as we get ourselves set up. A few more Banes actually morphing in, a couple more drones coming through, extractors are all building, and this little army of ByuN is going to make its way over to the right-hand side. So Marine Hellbats going to go over to the right. Couple drones go down as we do see the Banshee showing up and actually getting some decent harassment done, so they're going to be able to do okay here. Picking up a few work kills already. Just going to be seeing our Hatchery taking some damage. Picking away at that one, so Hatchery is going to get cancelled, and now the drone gets to rebuild it, so the drone will go for the rebuild. Now Zerglings out around the left-hand side. I'm going to move in towards the natural, which has got a depot lowered. In we go. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's brutal. I mean, the Hellions are just out on the map, right? Yeah. Wouldn't mind gets the Lings splitting away from it as well. Man, all of these Marines died. I actually like killing the Marines as well instead of just... Oh my god, even the Widowmine trailed onto a couple more Marines there. I actually really like the going for the Marines because it really just means that there's no follow-up to this for a long time from ByuN, so Reynor knows he's very safe for a while. Well, it might be nice to kind of hamstring ByuN by killing a whole chunk of workers. He's already now done, you know, now he hamstrings ByuN by just not being able to be aggressive. And that means that Reynor doesn't have to deal with as many Marines in a larger fight. And that is actually good when you're behind on upgrades as well, especially. And it actually means that maybe he can keep on counterattacking because now he might get more worker kills further down the line because there's less units on the map anyway for the Terran. So the few units he does have will attack, and then there's going to be less back at home to defend. So that's how I imagine this starts to look a little bit, as Widowmine trying to line up onto a Queen. Doesn't quite get there. All of these Lings coming through. They're going to go straight in again. No raise on the depot. ByuN making mistakes. And these are two empty mineral lines. Okay, the natural will have units starting to reinforce it. But the third base mineral line has a couple of Banshees, and that's about it. So you're going to get a good few SCVs as the workers from the natural go to the third, from the third to the natural. It just meant the SCVs actually came under attack from a different set of Lings. That was a little bit awkward. 11 SCVs going down, and Reynor continuing to extend into leads right now. Continue to get into better positions. Just going to be seeing our army up the left-hand side. Marines and Widowmines will hold out on the watchtower. Widowmine going to burrow up a little bit further forward there. Some Banes now rolling in for the third base, trying to deal some damage over here. They will get a couple of workers, nothing really too major right away. Okay, well that wasn't so crazy just yet. So Bane's finishing up, and just going to be seeing this army of Reynor continuing to press forward a little bit. We're going to see these few Banes getting shot down immediately. A couple of Hydras being picked away at. Crypt Tumors going down as well. Widowmine trying to line up a little bit, but will not find too much. It's an Overseer over here, not a drop load or anything. The Banshee's defending against these Banelings nicely. Those are just changelings that are wandering forward as well, so no further damage taken from ByuN just yet. Dealing with this pretty well for the moment. Banshee's still just overhead and figuring out what exactly they will do in the next few moments of this, as we do have a next round of Banelings. I mean, Reynor's been consistent in trying to just get across the map and, you know, get some run-bys going. I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, he's had some open mineral lines. And ByuN really upped his defense from early, but it definitely took the wind out of his sails, and it means that a lot of what he was able to do last time around on the last games, which was get on the map and be aggressive, I mean, that was already stunted a little bit from losing the Hellbat, or not having as much success with the Hellbat attack as he might have liked. But now he's stunted even further because of those initial Ling run-bys. And yeah, sharpening up the defense now definitely stops you from losing the game. But you're still in a tougher position, so Yeah, if he was defending like this all game long, then ByuN would have been an amazing setup, actually, and it would have been a completely different situation, as right now he just split those Marines trade out, using the Widow Mines to help splash and make this a more winnable fight for him. Something just got shot down from a Queen a little ways away. Not sure what that was. Was that the other Banshee, maybe? Nope. Banshees are both still alive. I believe they're still back at home defending. Well, ByuN's just trying to hold this watchtower and use that as a place to fight forward from. He's only just now starting his 4th base, so keep that in mind as well. That's going to be a while until it comes online, as the Lingbane will not commit through to the fight here just yet. It's going to be seeing the Lingbane Hydra still gathering to the upper left. A few Lings going to go down the right-hand side. Just going to be seeing the Banshees coming through. A couple of Creep Teamers being picked off. Quite a few of these Creep Teamers going to end up being picked off here, so Creep Spread being denied. Widow Mine. Good connection. Going to slow down at least a little bit of the Ling run by there, as we've got more Marines, Widow Mines out to the upper left-hand side. Ellie, stop eating the Christmas tree. No, out from under there. Thank you very much. Sorry, guys. Puppy problems. And yeah, just going to be seeing our Marines still on this watchtower, trying to push this position forward, trying to work through from that. So that's our current goal, is you just see a few units kind of stabbing forward to try and make something happen from it. Back and forth, couple of Banelings going down. Here comes everything else running forward again. Widow Mine shot goes into the Hydras. Actually a good amount of splash there. That was not so bad at all. She works out quite nicely, as we otherwise have. These units still setting up. Lingbane Hydra still wanting to try and push on through. A few of these Banelings connecting in. A couple Widow Mines going down. Marines are going to stim and push these Hydras back again. I mean, the problem is your 4th base still ain't in position for ByuN. It's floating over now, don't get me wrong, but it's been a while getting there. These Banshees, by the way, really have been amazing. 40 kills between them, and a lot of those are like Banelings that are trying to hit mineral lines. Those defensive Banshees have been working freaking wonders. But love to see them kind of keep it going. I mean, it's honestly been amazing. Lurkers are out. Ghosts not ready yet, as ByuN will probably regret this attack if he can't get out of it. Widow Mine's just going off on Overseers. Now some of them hitting Hydras, though. Gets a couple of these Lurkers right away, but it's just Marines. There's no tankiness in his army. He probably needs to try and lift up out of here, but some of the Banes get to connect anyway. That was not pretty for ByuN. Felt like he started to lose a lot towards the end of it, so something else for him to be maybe a little bit worried about. As we've seen, our Medevac's going to start boosting out elsewhere now. He's actually going to start dropping down the bottom side. Don't mind it. It does feel like he needs to start getting a little bit of something done, right? If he's not doing enough, he'll be in some trouble. But, I mean, he comes over to this bottom side and he doesn't find really anything at all here just yet, so this Medevac's not successful. Now, Reynor, another Widow Mine here, just getting a decent starting shot on that. Now the Lingbane running through. The Hydra's going to get on top of the Medevacs, though, and a few of those will start to drop at the same time. ByuN's making plays up to the top side. This base will be in some trouble also. I actually be able to get that. The Lurks are kind of on the wrong side, but how many SEVs is ByuN going to lose? He's going to lose the natural mineral line as well, so yeah, kind of too many, right? Killing one base over here probably is not making up for what's happening everywhere else, and that's definitely going to be the big problem altogether, as now some Lurkers are going to camp his units coming out of the base. Also, if these Lurkers don't get sniped down, you're going to be in some trouble. We need some detection to get the Lurkers, and right now there doesn't seem to be detection for those Lurkers. They're doing a lot. With 33 SCVs going down, this game is absolutely starting to come to a close. As Reynor felt comfortable all the way throughout. I felt like the openings obviously worked well for him, put him into a good spot, and now is absolutely getting into a better and better position as Lurker Hydra moves down to the south. Just going to see one depot burns down. Just going to see our Lings breaking through. Marines and Marauders on the left-hand side coming up as well. Another Widow Mine shot, but ByuN is just going to not have enough. And that is going to be the end of this, guys. That is going to be Reynor 2-1. He advanced through to the playoffs, and ByuN was eliminated, unfortunately. So, fun games, fun games. I mean, really, actually, fun best of 3 at the end here. GG's.